Hello, I hope you're having a good day. Welcome back to Daily Talk. It is episode 3, I do believe. Yes, that is correct. Don't correct me. Today I'm taking a bit of a break day, which is kind of nice. I'm just watching some TV. I haven't watched Rick and Morty in like some years, so I'm watching that, catching up on it. Uh, listening to some podcasts in the behind the scenes time. Also, I'm recording a little bit of gameplay, me just playing some BO3. I figure I can turn that into a video tomorrow. But yeah, for the most part, I'm not going to be really uploading any shorts today. I say that, but I still might. I don't know. Sometimes I just have to do something, you know what I mean? Daily topic today is, what would I do if there was a zombie apocalypse? Okay, so starting off, I live in rural Oklahoma in the middle of the woods. So first thing is, I would probably lay low for a couple weeks to months, kind of let things die down. Uh, Try to, cut down some trees. We get wood already, so we know how to do that. Get some of that scrap wood and kind of build these barriers around the property and just kind of wait, which we live uphill, which is really good against zombies, I guess, because you can just put up like electric fences or some shit. At that point, you probably need supplies because you're probably running out. So head into town, go on foot. You don't want to be driving a vehicle and, getting everything's attention. Now, town is about 15 miles away, so you're going to want to leave nice and early so you can get back by dark. So I feel like the first things I'd be trying to get is a school bus. One, I can fit a lot more shit in there. Two, you can turn that into like a perfect transport. Um, though it's going to be an issue because you're going to be like pulling zombies with you with the sound. So that is kind of an issue. I don't really know now. Because it feels like you'd be better off on foot for most cases. Maybe not this case, though. Realistically, I think I'm dying within like a week. I have asthma and like 10 other things. I'm not surviving the zombie apocalypse. But if I did for a bit, I think I would try to go primitive style, like fucking little wooden spear or some shit. You can kind of like stab the zombie from a distance, maybe put a knife at the end of it. I wouldn't really use vehicles. I'd still be looting and shit like that. I would try to grow stuff so that if there were more people or like if there was conflict, I wouldn't have to be involved. I can just be like, nope, you can have the canned food, buddy. Yeah. Or if anybody came by and needed like help, I'd probably have, crops growing so I could help people and myself. Now, the big kicker here is if specifically you get raided because somebody wants your crops. How do you stop that from happening? That's a tricky one. I have a camper at the start of the property, so you could kind of do something where whenever you see somebody coming up, you have somebody on the top of the camper with like a big old cinder block, and whenever the dude kind of comes in the property and pulls the weapon, if that happens, the person on the camper just fucking drops the cinder block on that person's head. Problem taken care of. Now, if they have like 20 people with them, yeah, I'm dead. Yeah, I think the longest I would make it is maybe a month. Uh, Not much further. Not much further. I'd be dead very quickly. Uh, Especially since I like to jam out. I'd be getting entire hordes of zombies showing up through the tree lines. Though that would also be a good distraction thinking about it. I might be able to use like get a bunch of speakers from Walmart or some shit stuff people aren't grabbing and just like set up like get a bunch of free phones and just put audio on it and then make it play like ringtones and shit like that whenever you throw the speaker so you can like detour zombies away from your place. Set up little traps near the speakers so that they run into like spikes or whatever So I mean, there's solutions for that. It's just when there's people that's really the problem. I don't think I'd struggle with zombies. I think I'd struggle with people. That is the daily talk. We talked about zombies. I didn't know what else to talk about. Yeah. You have a good one.